Hi there. Some more thoughts about meditation. Now, one thing that I alluded to in my past podcasts or what do you call it, video blogs or whatever they call these things, um, I talked about entering into the scripture reference, into the story. And one of the things I wanted to share with you today is very simple. But I think it is apropos as we are entering into Christian meditation and entering into those scripture stories. So we talked about Psalm 23 last time, and I talked about the thing of laying down in green pastures. So if you take take the scripture and you enter into it, imagine yourself in that psalm. You're entering into the psalm, and you're laying down in that green pasture, that soft green grass. I'm saying soft. How do you know it's soft? Because you imagine that basically use all your five senses. As you lay down in those green pastures of the Lord, or as He is making you lie down in those green pastures, what does things feel like? What does things sound like? Do you hear the birds? Do you hear the creek, the water running by? Do you hear some of the other sheep baying? Do you hear the shepherd playing his harp or his flute? What is it you hear? What is it you see? When you open your eyes, do you just see the blue sky and the clouds drifting by? Do you birds flying in the air? What do you see? What do you taste? Do you taste anything? Is there a flavor to the place? Smelling? Is there a flavor and a smell, a fragrance to the place? I remember growing up in Norway in a valley, and my mother grew up in that valley as well. So she knew like where all the special plants were and what time of the year the different flowers would bloom, and where the good blueberry patches would be, and when it would be ready to go and pick blueberries, wild blueberries, and all those different things. So when I grew up, my brother and myself, we were hauled with my mother, and she would show us these places. And the flower, the lily of the valley. Well, it grew wild in Norway, and it grew at certain specific places. And when you would go there at the right time of the spring, then you could smell the fragrance of the lily of the valley. And so when I came here to the States, and we actually planted them around our house, some was already here, I believe. I remember one particular night we were sleeping with our window open, and I was sleeping right next to the window on that side of the bed. And I remember the way the wind came, it just blew that fragrance of the lilies of the valley right into our bedroom. That was very sweet, and it brought back all those memories of my childhood. So now, if you're entering into this story, that Bible story, that scripture reference, that picture that is painted in Psalm 23, let's say, then think of it as, what is it you hear, see, feel, taste? What is the fragrance of it? The five senses. And as we know, the Lord has given us spiritual senses. He says, open the eyes of our heart that we will see. Jesus says in Revelations, anyone that has ears, let him hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. So there are spiritual senses as well. Taste and see that the Lord is good. The tasting of the Lord's goodness. When you lay there in Psalm 23, can you taste His goodness? Can you taste His care for you? Can you receive His comfort, His reassurance of how He feels about you, what He thinks of you, and so forth? But again, meditation is entering in and asking for the activation of all your senses to engage with it. So take another one that we mentioned last time is Jesus coming walking on the water, on the storm. When walking to the disciples when they are out in the boat on the storm and they think, oh, there's a ghost. What about What are the five senses in that situation? The storm is raging, the waves are blowing, there the light comes, you see the light, you think it's a ghost. It's a lot of stress going on, a lot of different noises, a lot of different tastes and feelings, and all that is going on. You might be soaking wet because of the storm, you might be cold, but the thing is to enter into the meditation in regards to those things. Now, meditation, of course, is not just exclusive to us as Christians. This is an Old Testament Jewish tradition. Whoever meditates on his word will be like a tree planted with running water, like we talked about in Psalm 1. So the whole thing is, this is not something that is just unique to us. And one of the areas I find meditation also helpful is when you are doing intercession. So let's say right now there are all those fires going on in California, and you say, Lord, have mercy, stop this fire, send the rain, help the firefighters, Lord, help them so they can fight these fires. But it seems if you look at some of the pictures, it just seems like an overwhelming inferno, and what in the world can man do? So the thing of interceding there is very good. So empathetic intercession is entering into that situation. What would it taste like? The smoke and the smell. What would you see? What is going on? Or you can enter into the whole thing of you being a Christian in Pakistan, and you are being accused of blaspheming Muhammad, let's say, or something, and you are now being put in prison, or you might be killed or stoned or whatever because you're being accused of something. Well, what if you enter into the meditation, empathetic intercession and meditation for that? What would you think? What would you feel? What would you smell? What would be going on, both internally and externally? And then you can more empathetically, pray and intercede for them, because you are doing the Christian meditation thing. So, again, my quick thought today is very simple. When you see a scripture, read a scripture, see the picture that the Bible describes, or current events for that matter, and you want to pray for them, enter into that story, enter into that picture, and then ask, Lord, what is it that I should see here? What is it that I should hear? What is it that I should taste in this situation? And then empathetically pray, or be encouraged. Be encouraged by it. Be encouraged by it to pray and intercede. And then imagine the Lord himself have no pleasure in anyone suffering, but he is a God of compassion, and he is identifying with us. The ultimate degree of identification. He entered into a human masculine body in Jesus Christ and became the incarnation because he wanted to show that he really cares for us. So that is the ultimate example, isn't it? Anyway, just another thought about the meditation. Meditation 3 is here. Now, if you have any questions or anything like that you want to just, write below, comment, ask questions. I check them, and then I'll try to reply to them. If not in the what do you call it, on the Facebook page, I would try to reply in the next session, maybe in the next podcast, or what do you call it, video blog. I gotta figure out what's the right way to say it. Anyway, God bless you all. Very nice to be with you again, and hope and pray that this will be of a little encouragement to you as you pursue your intimacy with God. All right, have a great evening.